If I was a credit card company, I would be shitting bricks. The first being that both Walmart and Amazon are eyeing potential stablecoin projects.
60%, Jorge, of the Fortune 500 firms turns out are embracing the blockchain. That's not the point of crypto. The point of crypto is to remove yourselves and liberate yourselves and free yourselves. So here we are. We all started in a basement building this system, and now the big wigs are trying to take it over.
Welcome to the Beefy Pod, the official podcast of Beefy, the multi-chain yield optimizer, getting you some of the best yield in all of DeFi. I'm your host, Jorge, here with your co-host, TBC, the Beefy Cow. And boy, do we got some stories for you. Am I right, TBC?
That's right. That's right. They're so important. I even came into the studio to record this. No
It's
more
unbelievable.
beaches or pools or anything. I am in the studio, locked in.
Actually, TBC is foregoing all forms of pleasure for you, dear viewer.
Yes, that's right.
And with that being said, it's time for the first story. So there's been a lot of stablecoin mania as, Circle did IPO last week and is performing incredibly well. And with that being said, lots of companies are starting to make some announcements and statements. The first being that both Walmart and Amazon are eyeing potential stablecoin projects.
Oh my God.
Basically, the main reason here, TBC, is because they greatly reduce settlement speed. They also will allow Walmart and Amazon to save a lot of money. Some analysts are estimating that the savings could be as high as $14 billion. So this is this is definitely more than potatoes we're talking about here. This is a lot of money. And what's funny is this was definitely in our predictions, that you and I had, but we didn't think it was going to go as far as companies making their own stable coins. But oddly enough, some of the reasons that companies are discussing this is because at this point, it seems pretty inevitable that the Genius Act is going to pass. But the issue here is that one thing that Elizabeth Warren did win in the Genius Act is that she basically has it basically restricted to only strictly financial companies being able to create these stable coins. So there's a lot of people discussing what Walmart and Amazon mean when they say that they're creating their own stable coins. I think what they mean is that they're going to partner up with a financial institution, or maybe, they're so big, they might as well just buy one, and then there you go. You have your own stable coin. So, I mean, I personally think this is just, just crypto people just being like, we're right. We've been talking about this forever, and it's happening. What do you think, TBC?
Well, I mean, I'll give my take here. Jorge, I don't know. You're probably old enough. Do you ever go to like an arcade or an amusement center or like a batting cage or something? You ever go to a place like that?
Only when my dad lets me outside.
Okay. Well, you know when, or like a pinball arcade or something, I don't know. But the first thing you have to do is you have to go in there and convert your money into their tokens. And they're literally tokens that you could only use on the machines at the place. And then you leave, and you always have some of their tokens in your pocket. But then you can't use those batting cage tokens or arcade tokens like at the gas station or to buy a bag of Doritos or a cheeseburger. You're stuck with them. So I think what these brilliant companies have figured out is they can make their own money. Their Chuck E. Cheese tokens, their Dave and Buster's cards that you could only use at their places. And eventually, and hear me out, they're going to come out with a point system, just like Cole's points. And then we're going to have a situation where there's your purse is going to be filled with all these tokens from all these dumb companies because there's going to be so many quote unquote stable coins
Right.
that exist. So this is, and I didn't read the Genius Act because why would I read anything the government creates? They're stupid. But I honestly think this is just a way for them to get your money in, so that it's on their books and they can invest it however they want, and you're stuck with their stupid tokens.
I mean, I definitely think you're on the ball with that. I do think that there's some other elements to this too. I think like
I must have missed them.
oh no, and what I mean by that is by Walmart and Amazon, if they could find a way to loophole over the Genius Act and own their own stablecoins, they're also increasing their exposure to the U.S. bond market as well. So this would build on their current treasury and portfolio, and Walmart and Amazon are huge companies. Like they could, if they were to make their own stablecoin, they could effectively own probably like 50, 60, 70 billion over like maybe 4 or 5 years when you think about it. And that
Yeah.
gives them a little more leverage on the table when they need something from the government as well, because the government has to sell its debt in order to finance itself. I mean, I think that that could be a more nefarious way of looking at it. But overall, I think that this just proves the point that stablecoins are still arguably, if not the best innovation in crypto. And the amount of money that companies are going to save using them is huge. And then on top of that, I think that this still continues to allude to how bullish I am on ETH. I am extremely bullish on ETH. I keep buying ETH. It's the fact that so many stablecoins are being built just vilifies the or verifies the original use for ETH, which was always DeFi. So I mean, I am extremely excited for this development. Do I like Walmart and Amazon personally? Eh, don't take down the
Yes, you
video.
do.
Let's put it
Shut
that
up. You
way.
love it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they're going to get together on a small island off the coast of Georgia, with some jekylls and eventually create their own new reserve currency for the world. That's what's going to happen. This 2. Jekyll Island 2.0. We're
not
gonna.
if the Bitcoiners are right.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the hell the Bitcoin is doing. I'm still waiting for Bitcoin to fix anything. All right, just still waiting here.
Okay.
Oh well. Anyway, I transitioning to our next news story.
Which
It
also
turns
has to
out,
do with giant ass companies.
yes, it does. It lots of giant
500 of
asses.
them.
Oh, 60%, Jorge, of the Fortune 500 firms, turns out are embracing the blockchain. Blockchain adoption has surged among 60% of Fortune 500 companies, with stable coins and enterprise use cases becoming a central main part of their corporate strategy. This is according to Coinbase's latest survey. The report highlights a 54% year-over-year surge in stablecoin usage and a strong call from 90% of the executives for clear U.S. regulation to drive further innovation. So here we are. It's, we all started in a basement building this system, and now the big wigs are trying to take it over. So
Right.
we're in good shape. We're in good shape. But hey, maybe this will pump our bags finally. Are you paying attention, Ethereum?
Yeah, just do the things, Ethereum. I'm like that meme where there's the dude poking the stick, and just going like, do the thing.
Yeah.
Like, go,
Do the
do
thing.
it. Please
Do
do
the
the thing. But I first I want to make a correction. 60% is 300, so at least 300 of these companies are developing a crypto corporate strategy.
Yeah,
And
but they all are. Okay, just
I
because
mean, they
60%
probably
admit it,
all are.
right?
60%
They're definitely
are
looking
willing to
into it.
tell. They're willing to tell Coinbase that they are doing it openly. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely
the
there's
the other
reasons to keep it on the low.
the other 40% want a better deal with Coinbase. Okay, it's all negotiations.
That could be the case. I mean, I mean, this just emphasizes. This just once again brings more validity to the space. I think, like, you know, I think that people have to start changing their frame of mind. And, a lot of this is going to have to do with education. But it is very obvious that, blockchain is going to allow the reduction of, free market capitalism, or at least the friction involved in the current financial system, and just making it easier and cleaner for people to participate. And, for me, the biggest thing that I'm excited about is self-custody. Like, you should be able to be the person that owns your own assets. And I'm hoping that as this technology gets more adopted, that more and more people will, opt to, using DeFi and owning their own assets versus, putting them on a bank and getting like 0.00001111, whatever it is, as the return, But that's just my thoughts on that. So, I mean, overall, it's good news. It's great to see more adoption.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Congratulations, the 300 companies out there that are willing to admit that you're going to develop your own stable coins.
Or basically, I mean, maybe they're just going to do on-ramps. I don't know. If I was a credit card company, I would be shitting bricks.
I think that's it. I think there's a lot of companies that are going, why are we paying credit card companies so much money?
Oh yeah,
we could do this ourselves. That's it. It's where's the incentive? It's always money, and who is the middleman that's not providing us the best system that we could make much more money off of? I don't know. We'll see.
I think that's ultimately what it's about. That people they're looking to save money. That's the ultimate goal. Save money and make more money. That's the game. Anyways, with that being said, more stablecoin news, and this one TBC is very excited about. But
yes, let's go.
USDC launches on the XRP Ledger. Now, you all know that TBC and I are both huge fans of XRP. We bathe in it. We put it in the bathtub and listen to the claim that it softens your skin. It makes you more supple and more able to deal with the burning hot sun. Makes you 30% more sexually attractive. Okay, I really don't know where I was going with that. But Circle's USDC has officially launched on the XRP Ledger, expanding its multi-chain presence to 16 networks and enhancing liquidity payments and DeFi potential. For the XRPL ecosystem, this move is supported by XRP as a bridge currency, which I really... Okay. Isn't a stable coin like anti that thesis? Like, it's like you're just... That's what it sounds like to me. Anyways, but this aligns with growing regulatory pushes around stable coins and boost institutional appeal. I mean, to me, this seems more like a win for USDC than it does XRP. I mean, XRP has done more... as far as I know, and I'll link these down below, but as I understand it, they are helping other countries make, CBDCs and stuff like that. I mean, putting USDC on the ledger kind of also goes against what XRP was about, as I understand it, because every time I would hear someone like at a Toyota dealership, or the last time someone tried to sell me on it was at a Kia dealership. Actually, no, it was a Toyota dealership in Sarasota. And the guy was like, look, it's a bridge currency. It's going to be a way to send your money faster to someone else on the other side of the world and get it to their currency. But I mean, isn't that what USDC kind of already does? Like, can't you just convert that? I mean, I don't know. There's probably more to this that I don't understand. I'm always open to being wrong. Hey, XRP, if you're watching this video, you guys at Ripple, come on the show, and I'll let TBC debate you for no more than 15 minutes.
I don't think I can handle that much XRP talk. Christ.
But, hey, if this is good for XRP and you're an XRP holder and you also watch this show with all 5 of you, well, congratulations. You got the thing. You got the thing. You got the IPO coin on your ledger. Congratulations.
There we go. And there we go. Thank you very much for that. The weekly XRP update. I don't know why we keep talking. There's so many innovative things going on in crypto. We keep talking about this like dastardly villain of the space that isn't even like fun to talk about. They're just there and they're obnoxious and somehow they're winning. Okay. Speaking about winners, Trump reforms could weaken crypto users' protections. Let's go.
Let's
So
go.
let's go. Trump's rollback of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's enforcement powers is raising concerns in the crypto industry. Ooh, are you concerned? I'm concerned. With firms like Coinbase supporting the move while consumer groups sue to restore protections. Who are these consumer groups? I don't know. We're not really a good journalistic company here because we're not really diving into it. Over 8,000 complaints against Coinbase and 300 plus against Kraken underscored a potential erosion of user safeguards, prompting states like New York to step in with oversight. Hey, quick little point here. Guys, you don't have to use Coinbase or Kraken. We're literally developing an entire world outside of these centralized exchanges. Okay? You don't need to ask the state of New York to protect you. You can do it yourself. Put on your big boy pants, get out there in DeFi, and start taking control of your own life. Sorry, sucks to be a little sissy that's constantly complaining about centralized exchanges, but spoilers, they all kind of suck, and they all kind of go against the values of crypto in general. No offense, centralized exchanges. I know you do your part, but seriously, come on now. The rest of you are better than this.
I mean, I will be the devil's advocate. I don't know if you guys have caught that yet, but TBC and I have some disagreements here, friendly ones. And what I will say is, what I will note is that the CFPB was constantly receiving complaints, about Coinbase, and over 300 complaints were made against Kraken. And the thing here that's notable is that these were not like random fees or something like that. This was like people being unable to access their accounts and things of that nature. And when the exchange was not able to respond to them, that they had no choice but to go to the CFPB. Now, a lot of people didn't know that, but like basically the CFPB was your tool to basically make a complaint if you felt it was valid against a financial company in your interest. So it wasn't just about Coinbase and Kraken. This obviously affected other financial companies that you might have had an issue with. And the reality here is the whole reason Coinbase and Kraken wanted them down, and this should be more evidence that you need to get your crypto off of exchanges like ASAP. But the reason they wanted it off was because basically they didn't have an incentive to react to your complaint as fast as possible. They would basically get a fire under their ass from the CFPB, and they reacted. Now, however you feel about the government being involved is up to you. But I, like TBC, would agree that this is basically underscoring the reality of the financial industry in any way. And I forget who said it. I think it was Gary Gensler, but basically all financial products are almost built to be a middleman. And the whole point of crypto is to remove the middleman and give you freedom as a user.
Well
So
done,
if you have not yet, well done, Gary. Anyways,
Yeah.
So if you have not taken your crypto off of exchanges, start doing that. And, you should only, at least for now, you should only be using the centralized exchange almost exclusively to either gain access to a token or to sell the token and turn it into cash. Now, this is not financial advice. Nothing on the show is financial advice. We're just two idiots on the internet discussing the stories.
Facts.
Trust me, we are both idiots on this show, but all five of you have been supporting us, and we greatly appreciate it. So please like and subscribe. TBC, final thoughts on the story.
Yeah, I mean, just once again, it's like people keep asking the government to fix these problems that we have with these intermediaries, and it's once again like that's not the point of crypto. The point of crypto is to remove yourselves and liberate yourselves and free yourselves, and we kind of lose that point, right? We kind of lose that point because we want convenience. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to safeguard our stuff. We want it easy, right? And when things aren't they don't go our way. We want to complain to somebody, you know, and everybody's lived in this nanny state for so long where you just expect the government to come in and save the day, and they can't, and they don't know how. And guess what? If we're two idiots on a podcast, the government is millions of idiots that don't know what the hell they're doing either. They're not going to be able to help you. Coinbase can't help you. No one can help you. Everybody is stupid. So at least realize that. And if you're going to be stupid too, take care of your own stupid assets. End of conversation. Mic drop.
Yeah, well said. You know, I do think that there should be something out there, and not just for like crypto in general. I just mean like, you know, if you're using some other or working with some other financial tool and you're being exploited or, you know, something and you could prove
Called
it,
guns, Jorge. Guns. They solve everything.
because that's what everyone's using right now. Anyways,
It's like, oh, zing.
zinger, drop the mic. Anyways, TBC, another beautiful
Yes.
story that you
just- they
definitely
never
want to
end.
talk about.
It's like, it's Groundhog Day, isn't it?
It is Groundhog Day. Where's Bill Murray? He's probably doing another Wes Anderson movie. God bless him. All right. This is not sponsored by the Phoenician scheme, by the way, but if you want to add on the show, we'll take it. So come on, Wes. Anyways, TBC.
Yes. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Oh, sorry.
It's your
TBC.
read. What are
it's
you-
my
what are you
read.
doing?
I'm such an idiot.
Yeah. God.
All right. The Solana ETFs just keep piling on. As everyone on the show knows, TBC is the biggest fan of Solana.
Love it.
He's a
Love it,
huge
love it.
bag.
Solana,
And-
ETH, all good.
And with that being said, we already have Bitcoin ETFs. We have Ethereum ETFs, and now
Yes.
7 major firms have filed S1s for Solana ETFs, including but not limited to VanEck and Fidelity, which is huge. Solana's ETFs will all incorporate staking as well, which is also
Oh.
huge. And the SEC's ongoing review process suggests a delay in approval, reflecting the growing institutional demand for Solana exposure amidst the legal scrutiny. I mean, look, at the end of the day, no matter how you feel in crypto, the people are using layer 2s, and the fact that Solana is doing so well just shows how many people want a frictionless or less friction experience. I think this adds to TBC's point, or to your point earlier, I guess I should say, but that people don't want to have to think about it. And I think Solana has done a really good job of creating this very abstracted experience that feels easy to use.
Yes.
And ultimately, that in itself is an amazing innovation. So I mean, whether you like Solana or not, I genuinely think that it is possible that they decentralize, and that's ultimately what I would like to see. And it would be nice if this administration would go back to emphasizing that aspect. Even though we didn't have very good regulations, there used to. I remember back when I would read these stories that it's like they need to be sufficiently decentralized, and I would really appreciate if that was like a standard. It feels like now everybody becomes so comfortable with just letting things be centralized, you know?
Yes.
And that part of it sucks. But I will say Solana has handled the most volume recorded in crypto history. It has worked in a really smooth way, even though for the most part, its last bump was most of the biggest people were trading meme coins, which is disappointing. I get it. If you want to make money, so be it. It is a casino, but I don't know. I do have some faith that, you know, Solana does have some really intelligent people working in their team, and I would really like to see them succeed. And I mean that. I'm biased. I have a Solana bag for those of you that are watching the show. But what do you think, TBC?
Yeah, I don't think anymore. I'm kind of done with thinking. I just like the world kind of does its own thing at this point. People love ETFs. They love Solana. You know, fart coin is up 10% today. What the hell do I know anymore? So I don't, Good. Hey, if people can make money on this, go ahead, people. I obviously am not. So I'm obviously the dumb one here. I should be doubling down on everything at this point, right?
Well, I
But
mean,
hey,
ETH is way outperforming Solana right now. And I mean, if you think about it, Solana is way closer. I mean, excuse me, Ethereum is way closer to its all-time high than Solana is. So I mean, that just shows you where the money is currently flowing. Can Solana rebound and have a huge run this year? I think it's still very possible, but it's already had a big run. So I think people are still I think ever since Pumped Up Fun had all of its issues and whatnot, there's still a lot of, I think, skepticism on Solana, which I think in really for any chain outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, you really should be skeptical. Like if you're in crypto and you haven't started practicing skepticism, you are someone else's liquidity. I'm sorry. Like you need to be
man,
skeptical.
don't be the yield, folks.
Don't be the yield.
Speaking of yield, Jorge, get this.
Sorry.
Going back to our institutions, Coinbase. Coinbase One Card now offers Bitcoin rewards. Are you excited about this? Coinbase
I
is
actually
launching
am.
oh,
I actually am. But go on, go
okay.
on.
All right. Coinbase is launching an American Express powered card offering up to 4% Bitcoin buybacks for Coinbase One members, deepening its ecosystem and rewarding user spending with perks like travel protection. The new basic tier at $4.99 a month includes a 4.5% USDC APY and a Genesis block engraving, boosting user loyalty. So, gone are the days of frequent flyer miles or airline
Oh, for
points
sure.
or and now you get some Bitcoin. So hey, how much Bitcoin did you make off your an American Express Coinbase card? Oh, I got a few sats. And how much debt did you have to take out to do that? But then
Mhm.
again, this is the same generation that uses debt to buy their Starbucks lattes while they're filling up their gas with debt in their car that is debt driven so they could drive to their college, which is funded by debt in an entire system that is debt slavery. So, yes,
Mhm.
at least you'll have a few sats in your pocket that are most likely probably trapped on an exchange somewhere that you could never actually withdraw to your own personal wallet. But hey, I didn't look into the actual fine print.
That's a good
But
point. I didn't even
I'm just
consider
wondering
that.
who controls my sats, right?
I mean, I think that's a good point. Like if you can withdraw the satoshis or the Bitcoin or
I
however
gotta
much
look that
money
up.
you're spending, that's definitely something users should know. I will say the one thing I don't like is 4.99 a month. I'm sure that they sat around in Coinbase and were like the average American will not make more on their cashback than the 4.99 a month. That's the only way that this makes sense. And they're offering a USDC 4.5% APY. I actually didn't know that until we started shooting. But
What does this say? Okay, this says if
but
you want to withdraw or cash out Bitcoin from your wait, this is a Coinbase account, not the Coinbase One card. Apparently, they're interlinked, so I don't know.
oh, I see. So the
Sorry about that.
rewards go to your Coinbase account. Okay, I mean that makes sense. And then you just have to constantly withdraw and pay the withdrawal fees, right? Constantly, bam, 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 bam,
What?
bam.
So I wonder, does that 4.99 go directly to buy you some Sats that month?
Oh wait, no wait, there's no withdrawal. I'm being an idiot. Sorry, there's no withdrawal fees. Never mind. But I mean, yeah, I mean for the most part, I guess you would accumulate that. But honestly, like for example, I use the Chase Sapphire Preferred, not sponsored by Jamie Dimon. If you want to sponsor the show, we'll take it. But
Uncle
uh,
Jamie, right?
come on, Jamie, throw us the bag, man. But I use Chase
Uncle Jamie,
Sapphire Preferred,
he's a fan favorite.
and I get like 5x points and 10x points for these things and that things. And the thing that sucks is, when you take into account inflation and how much points you're getting. I mean, how much are these points really worth? Like, I probably make an average of $1,000 to $2,000 off of that point, or off of the points, right? So, I mean, the thing that I do like about this is that you're getting an asset, which is Bitcoin, and it is scarce, and it is true and tried performed. Like, if you just kept using the card and you never thought about it, I mean, you know, the $2,000 maybe that I'm getting back in points could be 2,000 in Bitcoin, which could be, who knows, in the future worth so much more, like maybe 20, 30, 40,000. I mean, who knows? I think I really like this because you would be passively making Bitcoin, but it's also important to know that this isn't the first time Bitcoin has been used in reward programs, but definitely partnering up with American Express and making it a statement, I think is huge. I think Coinbase is positioning themselves to be, or to try to be, as as an alternative for people's banking altogether. Like, I think Coinbase is trying to become your checking account and your savings account, and using these rewards and all that. I mean, 4.5 is way higher than any banking savings account. Now, I would say my concern is that this could easily be like a Luna waiting to happen.
Okay.
4 point.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. It is so possible. Think about it. 4.5% on
This is-
USDC APY.
Where's that yield coming from, Jorge?
Yeah, where's that coming from?
That? Yeah. Well, it's coming from the credit cards. Obviously, you give out a bunch of credit cards. Everybody goes into debt, and then they pay a shit ton of fees every month on it, right?
Right.
Obviously, that's how credit cards work, right? Everyone, listen. God, I sound like Dave Ramsey, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get this credit card and put it in my thing just for emergencies, and then everyone uses the credit card literally for everything, and everybody creates a cycle of debt, right? So all your money, right, is eventually just gonna go to Coinbase / American Express, whomever at this point, and they know what they're doing. They have a $1 billion marketing machine behind it, and now they're using the word Bitcoin to convince everybody to come into their debt-ridden cycle. Now, just a few moments ago, we were just talking about how potentially Fortune 500 companies were like, hey, maybe we could create our own stable coins to avoid a credit card system, maybe get out of it so we could avoid those fees and expenditures. And here we have Coinbase is like, no. We're going to try doing things your old way. Here's the thing. Coinbase does a lot of good. Sure. I get it. You're there to make money. You're a great company, whatever. But like, we're pushing people in the wrong direction. I get this is one way to bring normies into it, but like, the point of crypto and everything was to get you out of your debt-ridden slavery that you exist in. Right?
Yeah.
And here we're using Bitcoin to sucker you right back into that system. And whatever. To me, that's, I don't know, the same unethical horse that we've been dealing with for 100 years. Whatever. Moving on.
Moving on. So
to a bullish story.
To a very bullish story.
It's about time. It's been like a month.
X taps Polymarket as prediction market partner. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Polymarket, it is built on the blockchain on Polygon, and for the most part, it is a betting market for people to bet on outcomes from anything from sports to politics to weather events, all kinds of stuff. And people can make money or lose money by betting whether something is going to happen or not. Interestingly enough, X has chosen this partnership, and this means that your X account is basically going to be embedded with some blockchain technology in the form of Polygon's Polymarket. Something to note about Polygon is Polymarket. Oh my God, Polymarket, Polygon. Why do they have to be so similar? Anyways, is that Polymarket has really become huge. It's basically the largest global prediction market on the planet, and it is built on the blockchain, and it's accessible to everyone globally. For a while, it wasn't acceptable by people in America. I don't know if that was made if that's allowed now. I mean, if you're not using a VPN, I don't know what's wrong with you, but anyways. So moving on, integrating live data with Grok AI analysis and users post boost engagement. Operating on Polygon with USDC, Polymarket remains restricted for US users. Oh, there it is. Marking a significant fusion for social AI and on-chain data. I mean, my one concern, I guess, is that I don't trust Elon Musk's largest supercomputer in Tennessee. If you haven't seen that documentary, I'm gonna post a link about it. But for me, I think this is just X trying to get Polymarket's data, on their users and stuff
Oh,
like that. That's what I think is the real
wow.
motive here. I mean,
Makes sense.
obviously Polymarket, wins by, gaining access to all the users of X. But in reality, X has so much more to gain. If you guys are not familiar, Grok is actually powered by what is currently being built in Tennessee, which is the largest supercomputer on the planet. It is also a major, I mean, it makes like, oil rigs look like the beacon of environmental protections. If you haven't seen that documentary, I'll link it below. But what I think this is all about is that X is basically trying to aggregate more user data and nothing. And, Polymarket has been a huge indicator of elections, of other major world events. So, I mean, I find this fascinating. Like, so I guess X is going to be a casino also, right? So there we go. What do you think, TVC? Oh, and congrats to
Yeah,
Polygon. This is huge.
yeah. Good job. I don't know. I really, I don't. I think you're right. I think once again, this is all about data, 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 data,
Hmm.
data, data. We all know Elon Musk loves data and collecting it and utilizing it in every fashion that he possibly can. I'm sure just to predict the future and everything else. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Can I bet now on how many retweets a post is going to get? That'd be exciting.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do
I
it.
mean,
Do I get
I'm
a?
excited for it, but I think it's a nefarious integration. Just all, people, if you haven't, start using a VPN. Find ways to protect yourself online. It's someone is anything that's free is not free. Like your information is being sold somewhere. Anyways, with that depressing story, well, good news, but depressing, but mixed feeling
Oh
story.
Jesus! Don't worry, guys. Next week, all bullish stories. We're not going to sound depressing idiots. Moving on. Stripe acquires Privy. Privy to expand crypto stack. What the hell is Privy? Anyway, Stripe has acquired Privy, a crypto wallet infrastructure startup serving 75 million plus wallets for platforms like OpenSea to strengthen its Web3 leadership following its earlier acquisitions of stablecoin provider Bridge. It's going to operate independently, positioning Stripe as an end-to-end crypto infrastructure provider. Jorge, what does all this mean and why should we care?
Well, I think that the reason this is so huge is because this is basically, Stripe is one of the biggest providers of payment services in the United States. And the big thing here is that this is an admission that they need to find a way to be able to integrate payments from the blockchain to Stripe directly. This is basically laying out the infrastructure needed for you to basically become bankless.
Oh,
That's kind of the way I look at this. It's starting with Stripe, but it's inevitable that this is going to move to Visa, to MasterCard. Like the whole reason Elizabeth Warren and the banking lobbyist and all that hate crypto is because it's inevitable. They know that their Ponzi is basically over. They know that lending out your money is not going to be a viable way to make money in the long term. And what can they do about it? I don't really know. I'm all for free markets. So in this case, this is just another sign of where the market is going, how money is going to be stored, how payments are going to be made. You know, I mean, I hope that if you watch this show or any other news show, that you have been picking up on that, because that's what the future is going to be. You're going to be the owner of your own assets. You're going to be custodying all your crypto assets, potentially your stocks, potentially the D tier home. Everything is going to become more self-sovereign, is where I think the direction that we're going, you know? And so this story is a big deal because it's an admission that they are losing, potentially they don't want to be behind when everybody suddenly has all their assets on their wallet and everyone else is accepting payments in USDC, Bitcoin, ETH, or, you know, whatever. That's what I think this means. That's why it's a big deal.
Okay. I agree. And to wrap it up, has James Wynn, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's James Wynn has been pretty popular on the interwebs of late. Has he been exposed? In a recent investigation by Detective on X, managed to uncover a hidden hyper-liquid account linked to trader James Wynn, where he counter trades against his public account by taking opposite Bitcoin positions, suggesting a hedging strategy or potential manipulation. This revelation, supported by trade data from May 18th through May 22nd, 2025, indicates he maintained a $4.2 million profit on the hidden account while leveraging his public losses for marketing and monetization, boosting up to his, I think currently 370,000 follower base. All right, Jorge.
Have mercy.
Anyway, yeah. So James Wynn, dude. I mean, he was like the most popular guy for like two weeks. Lost like hundreds of billions of dollars, I guess.
Hundreds of millions. Hundreds of millions.
You sure? Okay. Well,
yes.
I mean, whatever. It's all the same. Anyway, Jorge, have you ever secretly set up a second account and traded against yourself while utilizing your first account to get wrecked so that you could get clout on the internet and more followers?
I mean, no, a shout out to James Wynn. This is way too elaborate. I mean, this is like supervillain type shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's good stuff.
Yeah, but look, I do think that, you know, once again, you should be practicing skepticism, and nobody is that good at trading. I mean, if you're watching a YouTube video and someone's telling you, hey, I'm making this decision, that decision, that decision, the reality is that nobody has a crystal ball, and most people, if you have 7 positions, one of them is likely to do really well, and it's not uncommon that the rest suck or that all of them suck. It is very hard to do. So these guys, they're basically exploiting your attention. You know, the more followers they get, they probably get sponsorships and, you know, all this stuff. I mean, especially the trading channels, you should be skeptical. I don't know about UTBC, but all of my best trades and wins were not technical analysis, were not basically, you know, from following trading channels or whatever. Honestly, my best wins were because I just did research on the project. I paid attention to the discussions on Twitter. And also, when those discussions came to YouTube, normally, in my experience, that was a sign that like something big is happening, you know? It normally is like a cascade. It starts in Twitter. No, it starts in Discord, gets to Twitter, gets to YouTube, then it blows up, you know? So you want to be at the trenches in the bottom, reading through.
There's that word.
You know, that's where you want to be, honestly.
That Twitter, man, that's been the word of the week, trenches.
If you want to get that deep into it. But honest to God, for me, I mostly just buy the things that I understand and think are going to do really well, and I just hold them, and it's boring. Not financial advice. You know, I'm not that super intense trader. I don't know if TBC is, but, you know. Yeah. Anyways, look, the point here is James Wynn is just another example of people that were just taking advantage of you. And, or,
man, he's entertainment, right? Enjoy your entertainment. Remember, everybody, at the end of the day, if you're paying attention to James Wynn, or you're watching a commercial on TV, or clicking on a YouTube channel, or for Christ's sake, even you are the product. All right. You are the product. You are the one being sold. That's how attention and marketing operates. You, not us, not what we put out. You. And I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this James Wynn, do a little bit more of an expose. Are you ready next week? I'm coming for you, James Wynn. I'm going to discover everything deep, deep down.
Then the next episode starts, and it's like, well, you know what? I actually met James Wynn. We actually grabbed a burger. We went to
had dinner. It was nice.
We played Dance Dance Revolution, and he's actually a really swell guy, and we got along really well.
He's swell. We went to Dave and Buster's.
I can't say much
cashed
about
our dollars into tokens.
I can't say much about James Wynn. All I could say is that, overall, it just seems like at the very least he was very misleading. And that's not cool. Controversial statement.
Unlike this show, where we are direct and there is no misleading whatsoever. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in this week. Once again, this is TVC signing off with our host, Jorge. Have a good one and good luck out there. Stay safe. And
remember,
folks.
like, subscribe, and always be skeptical. Cheers.